Welcome to the Glow Getters podcast. My name is Fahey-Ahrndt, and I'm your host. I teach and inspire leaders to step into their productive selves and find their true potential. I'm a passionate creative and scientist with over 8 years of healthcare leadership experience. At age 25, I stepped into my first management role and didn't find the leadership advice I was looking for. So here I'm giving you the tools to end burnout and enjoy a vibrant career and life. Glad you're here to learn and grow with me. Now, on with the show. Hey Glow Getters, thanks for joining me. I am excited you're here to learn more about student loans. So I did a poll on Instagram the other day and about 20 people responded saying, yep, I have student loans. And so I thought this would be a really relevant episode just right now with COVID-19. What's going on with our student loans? This weekend I had taken some time to navigate and do some research and figure out what's happening with those. And so I thought, okay, if other people are also having to navigate this, why don't I just share what I've learned so you guys can feel like you're fully informed if you haven't already been able to look into that stuff. So let me just jump right into it. This is going to be a quick episode. So on March 27th, the president signed the CARES Act, which is the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, which, among other things, provides broad relief in response to the coronavirus or COVID-19 for federal student loan borrowers whose loans are owned by the U.S. Department of Education. So this is temporary, and this ends on September 30th, 2020. So I really just want to call out that this is only for federal loans owned by the Department of Education. So if you have a federal or private loan that's not owned by the Department of Education, be sure to reach out to those services directly to discuss options for relief during this time. So I'm thinking of companies like SoFi. I know my husband has loans through them. They are offering relief options. You just need to make sure you contact them directly. I went to their website and they have a banner on the top of it kind of explaining the process of what they're doing and what you need to do. So just make sure that if you have private loans or loans that are federal but not owned by the Department of Education, you're going to have to directly contact those servicers. Okay, so for loans that are owned by the U.S. Department of Education, here's what relief looks like right now. So the first thing is there's 0% interest rate during the period of March 13th through September 30th. So what does this mean? It means that there will not be any new interest charged to your loans during this time. I want to be really clear because it's a question that I had. My question was, is the interest that I have previously accrued forgiven? And the answer to that is no. So you will still be responsible for any previously accrued interest. Just during this time, March 13th to September 30th, there won't be any new interest accumulated. The second thing is that administrative forbearance has been put in place. So what does this mean? It basically means that your loan has been put on hold, kind of like when you were in school and you weren't required to pay it. During administrative forbearance, you're not required to pay your loans monthly, and auto payments will not occur. So just wanted to call this out. If you have auto payments set up, which you should if you don't, because usually you get a percentage off. It's like cheaper to have auto payments set up. They won't occur during this time. They're like turned off. So if you want to pay your loans right now, you can, but it would have to be manual. If you decide to pay your loans, if you feel like you're comfortable right now with your job and you have the money or however you take care of that, you will be paying the principal of your balance after you've paid your previously accrued interest. So this could be an opportunity to get ahead if you are able to, because you will be paying your principal down if you've been taking care of your interest or if you're able to pay your interest during this time. You can actually opt out of the administrative forbearance, but the only benefit to you would be that your auto payments would occur, but otherwise there is no benefit. Say you opt out of this forbearance and you have your auto payments recurring, and then you decide this isn't working for me. You can reverse the opt-out if you choose to. So just keep in mind, you do have some options. Auto debit payments during this time March 13th through September 30th can be refunded to you. So if you did have like some auto payments occurring and those were taken out of your account, they could be refunded to you. And so it sounds like you just contact your loan servicer to request this. So my take on all of this is if you can make payments, or say you're worried about paying that money, like having it gone, you could just set aside that money into a savings and then make those payments later, right before this period ends. So I think you have a few options. You can continue to pay your loans. You just have to do it manually if you feel comfortable. If you have the money, but you're a little worried because there's just an ambiguous time, you could just set aside those funds, say into a savings account, and then make the payments when we feel more comfortable doing that, maybe right before the September 30th time frame ends. Or you can just not make those payments right now and not worry about it. But I would encourage you, if you've been paying them, to try to remain as normal as possible by setting that money aside at least, so that you're kind of ahead of a game later on, taking advantage of the situation. I am told by reading the website that before the September 30th time ends, we'll be notified. If you have a loan, you'll be notified to say, hey, by the way, this period is ending, and so your loans are going to become due. And so watch for those alerts. Make sure you're checking your email and you can log into your account. So for more information, you can go to the government's Student Aid and COVID page. So their website is Studentaid.gov/announcements -events/coronavirus. And the title of the page is called Coronavirus and Forbearance Info for Students, Borrowers, and Parents. So actually, if you just go to like Studentaid.gov, there's a banner on the website. And so it's like the main page. It takes you right there, so you can't miss it. So essentially, make sure you log into your student loans account if you haven't already. Make sure you understand the 0% interest rate and administrative forbearance. Decide if you're going to continue to make payments, set aside the money for later, or just not worry about making the payments. If you don't have loans that are owned by the Department of Education and they're private or other federal loans, make sure you reach out to your loan servicer to understand the relief they're offering at this time. So I'll put the link to the Studentaid.gov website in the show notes and on my website at glowgetterslife.com/blog. And this episode and blog post will be called What You Need to Know About Student Loans Right Now. So you guys can check that out for more information and refer to it. All right, I hope that helps. Let me know how you're handling your student loans right now. I'm really curious. For me, mine are actually, we're just starting to come into repayment this month in April, and it was a pretty large student loan payment. My payment's like almost $800. So I was very happy to see that it's not coming due this month, but I have been saving for it. So I think I'm just going to save my money for this month, see how that goes. And the next month, if I'm feeling more comfortable, I'll pay down the loan, or I'll be paying that right before this period ends to take advantage of the 0% interest and pay down the principal a little bit more. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day and go be a light in the world. Take care. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to the Glow Getters podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a good rating and review on iTunes. It really helps me get this podcast in front of other people. If you'd like to connect with me, please follow me on Instagram at Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt. And you can always check out my website for more content, blog posts, and recipes at glowgetterslife.com. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.